Hello everyone, my name is Juen and I'm going to be the instructor for your class this semester. This video is just a brief little tutorial on how to access the D2l site and where everything is located on the site and how you can go about finding where everything is and how to begin completing assignments. I'm sure some of you have taken online classes before, but I know that not everyone has, so I would like to set this up as just a little introduction for everyone. So the first step in accessing the Blackboard site is going to go up to the little My Century link right up here. Clicking on that, it'll ask you to enter in your star ID and your password, and it should bring you into the little My Century page over here. The next step is to click on the D2l Brightspace link right over here, which will take you into your D2l site. Clicking on that will bring you into this little outline page right here, and you should have all your classes listed down on the side here. Mine may look a little bit different than yours since mine is set up to be an instructor and not a student. So quick note, if clicking on this, it might not bring you directly into the homepage site. It may take you to a separate login if you do not have your star ID and password connected to your Century account. But if so, just do one more step in putting in your password. The next step then will be to find your class over here, whether you're in my History 1021 class, my History 1060 class, or my History 1061 class. Click on that option, and it should take you then into a home page for our site, which looks something like this. If you're in the History 1060 or the History 1061, it is all going to look very similar. The only thing that's really going to be different from this tutorial are the names of the assignments and so far, because everything content-wise is going to be set up pretty much the same. Now, the main place you're going to want to go for pretty much everything is going to be up here in the little Content tab. Before I get there, on our homepage here, the only thing you're going to need to pay attention to is a little News tab. If there's ever an announcement that I want to release to the class or something that you're going to need to know, I'm going to go ahead and list that in the news right here. But also, if there's something that you need to know, I'll be emailing you directly as well. So if ever need to get a hold of you and if anything ever changes, be sure to be checking your emails regularly. The syllabus covers that as well. But I'll also kind of reiterate it by posting something here in the news section. But as I said, the Content tab here is where the majority of the magic happens, as it were, for our class. Now, clicking on that will bring you into the different table of contents, and you can go down and see on a weekly basis what is going to be due in the classes. First off, the Contents tab on the very top here, that pretty much lists everything that is posted in the contents in a chronological order. So you can kind of scroll down and get a good overview of what is due every week, what you have completed, and so forth. The Course Information tab just has some basic, like the syllabus is located here, a copy of the class schedule, as well as our online class policies, all of which you're probably going to take a look at. You're definitely going to need to read the syllabus for the syllabus quiz, which is in week 1. We'll be covering that in just a moment here. But just your basic kind of standard information is going to be covered in the Course Information tab. Next tab down is Resources. Just a couple things here. I have a little reading and studies tip guide you can take a look at, as well as the guidelines for our final project. You're not going to need to worry about that for a little while here, as your topics aren't going to be due until the middle of the semester, and the final project's not going to be due until the end of the semester. But once you do start wondering more about that, or if you want to get a head start, you can go ahead and click on the final project guidelines to take a look. Extra credit tab is blank at this point. There's a little thing explaining right here that this is where the extra credit will go if and when I do post any. So we have a separate tab for that. And if I am ever going to open up extra credit and offer it, I will once again send out an email to the class letting everyone know what is going to be happening. So on a week-by-week basis, you can go through, and as I said, see here it is labeled week 1, and it tells you the dates, August 24th through August 30th. Our class is always going to run on a Sunday to Sunday basis. So Sundays at 11:59 p.m. are when all of the assignments are going to be due for that week. So clicking on a week will show you the various things that you need to complete during the week. So for example, in week 1 here, the little first bit here always just gives you another detailed outline of what is due for the week. For example, in week 1, you will need to complete the introduction assignment, the syllabus quiz, and the PowerPoint questions. Next up is going to be the PowerPoint. So you can click on this to access the PowerPoint for the week. And after you view the PowerPoint, or once you open it up, you can then go and answer the PowerPoint questions. The PowerPoint questions are 5 questions that are asked randomly throughout the PowerPoint each week. So you can take a look at the PowerPoint and then go ahead when you're done viewing the PowerPoint and answer the questions. Or it might be a good idea to load up the questions in a separate tab. You can answer them while you are viewing the PowerPoint. The syllabus quiz is going to be a quiz on various parts of the syllabus just to make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward. A little 10 question quiz. Nothing too strenuous, but make sure you do view the syllabus, or once again open up the syllabus while you are viewing the syllabus quiz to help you complete that. And the introduction assignment is just going to be a little assignment to let me know a little bit more about yourselves and your interests, your career paths, and so forth. That'll be worth 10 points as well. So all of these first week assignments here are going to be due August 30th by 11:59 p.m. That is kind of the first due date that we'll have, but you can always complete them, of course, earlier in the week and turn them in anytime in that week. The last thing here is a little video link to our crash course videos. And I'm going to be posting these in every week. They are done by a separate group on YouTube. But they're very good as far as putting a lot of what we were going to be covering in context and in perspective, and they're pretty fun too. So I would certainly recommend that you give those a look. They might actually help you in answering PowerPoint questions or quiz questions, or identifying people and themes in the document primary source exercises. So definitely something that I would say is, particularly if you're a visual learner, that you're going to want to take a look at, and I encourage you to enjoy those. As we go ahead here, looking at week 2, it's a very similar setup. You see the PowerPoint listed here with the PowerPoint questions. In week 2, we'll have our first quiz, whether it's on chapters 1 and 2. If you were in one of my other classes, 1060 or 1061, it may be different chapters, but the week 2 is when you're going to have your first reading quiz. So you're going to need to read the chapters and then once again answer a 10-point question quiz on that. And you can see the various crash course videos then listed down here on the bottom. One more week I'm going to cover is week 3, because that's when we kind of introduce the third part of our assignments. Once again, you will see during week 3, which will be September 7th through September 13th. Once again, we will have the PowerPoint questions here, which you can answer after viewing the PowerPoint. We'll have the quiz on Chapter 3, and here we have our first primary source exercise. Now, the primary source exercise is listed on top, and then the questions for it are listed down below. So, very similar to the PowerPoints, it's going to be a good idea to to open up this here, maybe a separate tab from the questions, so you can view the document and view the questions at the same time. The questions are all going to be the same for the primary source exercises. Pretty much, I want you to carefully read or view the source, or the sources, sometimes there might be more than one, and then answer the following questions listed here with a 150-word minimum. But of course, to properly answer all these questions, sometimes your answer is going to be more than 150 words. So to get full credit, you have to successfully and fully answer these 3 questions for each primary source exercise. And once more, just like all the other weeks, all these are going to be due by September 13th. As you can see, the little end dates are listed here underneath each assignment as well. Also, if you notice up on the top, there's a little progress bar here. Once you do complete and turn in an assignment, this progress bar will update itself, so you can kind of keep track and know that you are getting everything in on time. I think that is pretty much it for showing you how everything's going to work. You see it runs all the way down pretty much to the end of our class. So you can follow along on a week-by-week basis that way. Also, if you would like to work ahead, that is fine. That is acceptable. Everything should be set up just as long as you do have them in by the listed end dates or due dates here. Also, just a quick point to keep in mind, if you do work ahead, that does not necessarily mean that I'm going to be keeping up with you in my grading. Essentially, how I grade assignments are I'll grade everything for the previous week the next week. So if you're working 2 weeks ahead, it's still going to be only a week after that assignment was due that I'll get around to grading it. So if you do work farther ahead, it might take a little bit longer to see your grades posted. But that is all I have for right now. Thank you all very much for viewing this tutorial here. And if you have any questions on anything that I went over after reading the syllabus, or any other questions in general, just go ahead, send me an email, and let me know. All right, well, thank you all very much, and I hope you enjoy the class and have a great semester.